Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is May 14th, 1999.
It is that.
And how are you today, Carol?
I'm awesome. How are you? Why are you giving me the weird eye? Like, he's got the big eyes. What's going on?
No, just your face was doing some weird things.
What exactly was my face doing?
I don't know. You were staring at stuff and, like, staring at our little board over here. And, like, I don't know. I couldn't tell what you were thinking.
I was watching you do the things you do with the board and just wondering what all the things do. And
I can give you a tutorial at some point if you'd like.
okay.
I should just close my eyes when I'm doing the intro and not look at you at all.
I guess so.
Because I feel like you're very self-conscious about it now, too, so you do weird things or whatever.
Well, I think I'm just too entertaining and distracting for you.
You are very entertaining.
That's what happens.
And distracting. Your hair looks good, too.
Thank you. Yes, he did my hair for me today.
Yeah. I filled your hair with color.
You could have said that in a less weird way.
Sorry.
You dyed my hair.
That's true. Yeah, that's what they
red.
call it. That's what they call it. Anyway, speaking of red, we read the description of the movie The Mummy.
Okay.
And then we decided to go see it. We saw The Mummy.
We did.
I don't have any news this week. Usually I would go through some news and everything, but I didn't find anything that I thought was particularly interesting in the newspaper this week, so we don't have news. So we're going right in.
We're going right to the show.
No KY, no
No foreplay, people.
We're going right into
ready.
The Mummy.
Because here it comes.
Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz's The Mummy.
And who's the other dude?
What other dude?
The guy that you thought was Billy Zane.
Billy Zane.
It's not Billy Zane.
William Zane.
No. He's a liar.
It's Arnold Vosloo.
Who doesn't even look that much like Billy Zane.
He does look like Billy Zane.
Just a little. Little.
You have this because of Titanic 2 years ago and the fantastic wig that Billy Zane wears in that movie. You have this image of Billy Zane as like fucking Clark Gable-esque or whatever. And that's not what Billy Zane looks like. He's a bald man.
Always?
Yeah, he's been bald for a long time. Yes, he's very bald.
So I guess that's why people get confused between him and
Arnold
whoever the student is.
Vosloo.
Yeah. Because they're both bald.
Yeah.
But you know,
all bald men look alike.
Lots of bald men don't look like Billy Zane.
George Costanza also looks like Billy Zane.
Could not be confused with Billy Zane. Could not have been a stand-in for The Mummy.
Telly Savalas looks like Billy Zane.
I don't know who that one is.
No, he's from Kojak.
I don't know.
Who loves you, baby? Let me have some popsicles. Not popsicle suckers.
That sounded like you're give me some sugar.
I'm a detective that does...
Give me some sugar.
Give me some sugar, baby.
There you go.
I'm a detective that only am Greek.
What is happening right now?
Kojak. You never watched Kojak?
No.
It was a TV show
Grandpa.
in the 80s about... What the fuck? It's not even from that long ago.
From now on, everything I don't know just makes you grandpa.
Okay.
Okay.
What if I predict things in the future?
That's different because there's no way to know. Because it's the future.
Well, what if I know? I'm a time traveler.
Well, I already suspect you're a time traveler. That's kind of the whole point here.
A lich or whatever. Right?
Yes. Liches are not time travelers, though.
Yeah.
They just live forever.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's probably me.
I think so.
Anyway, so speaking of living forever,
Yes.
Arnold Vosloo wants to try to live forever with his hot Egyptian mistress.
So, okay. She was the Pharaoh's, like...
Lady.
I mean, not wife.
No, I think just like his... I think it was his mistress.
Like his concubine. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Right.
who no one else was allowed to touch.
Correct.
And
Unlike
so
all the other
he
women.
covered her in paint. Like, was that why she was covered in paint?
I don't know, because everyone else was covered in paint too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think he just made this. I believe this pharaoh just painted whatever he claimed, because like Arnold Vosloo, the mummy or whatever, Imhotep, wasn't painted, but all of the pharaoh's servants were painted, and so was she. So I guess he just like that was his way of dibs,
I guess.
painting people.
I mean, I think the Egyptians like decorate themselves a lot. Anyway,
They did.
yeah. I mean, back in the day, obviously.
Yeah, they don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been to Egypt, so.
No, not recently anyway. Not since the incident.
What? I want to go to Egypt, though.
I know. Egypt sounds like fun, doesn't it?
I want to see the pyramids.
The pyramids and the Sphinx.
Yeah. The Sphinx is part of the pyramids, isn't it?
I mean, the Sphinx is often depicted around pyramids, but it's not. I mean, it's not a pyramid.
But it's like in the same area as the pyramids?
Yeah, generally yes.
Okay.
We'll solve the riddle of the Sphinx.
I think it's been solved,
Do you?
hasn't it?
Do you know what the riddle is?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you?
Yep.
Well, enlighten us.
What is it that walks with 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs in the evening? That's the riddle of the Sphinx.
4 legs in the morning.
Yep.
2 legs in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And 3 legs in the evening.
You got it.
A person? Mm-hmm. Because of
You
the
figured it
the
out.
sun. The shadow.
What? No.
Because of the shadow.
No, you figured it out, but you figured it out the wrong way.
Aw. I was so proud of myself.
In the morning, meaning it's a metaphor for the beginning of life, crawls on all 4s. In the afternoon, in the mid of life, walks on 2 legs. And then in the evening, walks with the aid of a cane, 3 legs.
So they had canes in ancient Egypt?
I guess. I'm pretty sure the riddle of the Sphinx didn't actually originate with the Sphinx talking to people in ancient Egypt and like saying you can have my treasures if you answer this. So I assume so, yeah.
Okay. Apparently I'm just stupid. That's okay.
What?
That's okay, though. I made my peace with it.
I think they probably used some kind of like walking stick type thing. I'm pretty sure. Like, you see those movies that they made about the Greeks and everything, like Socrates and stuff like that, and he's got a little walking stick. So.
Well, yeah, of course they had walking sticks.
Wow. So you asked the question. You have me go through a fucking circular logic for 5 minutes, and then you're like, of course, dumbass.
Oh, but I love you.
Love you too. So, yes, Imhotep decides to fuck the pharaoh's wife or concubine or whatever, and she seems to want it too.
Well, yeah,
Seems consensual.
very much. Definitely seemed like she wanted to be where she was.
Oh, you thought this guy was attractive, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an attractive bald dude.
You wouldn't have minded if you were whatever Amon-Ra or whatever.
There was no R in her name, but I can't say it. But it was not a R name. That's all I know.
Okay. What did you think of this movie? How about we start with that?
I liked it. I thought it was interesting. It was a little bit long in the beginning, but I think it did well when it picked up. It was pretty scary. I liked the end.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I didn't love it.
No?
But it was good. It's an oddly paced movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, we get the flashbacks to ancient Egypt at the beginning of the movie, and we get a ton of exposition via narration about this history or whatever, right? And then we are face to face with Rick O'Connell, Brendan Fraser, and how he's found this lost city or whatever, and he's like fighting a bunch of people and everything with an army, like whatever. They're trying to take the treasure, I guess. We don't really fully get it up at the beginning, but then he fails and he wanders through the desert. Then cut to Rachel Weisz, Evie, and her brother in the Egyptian antiquities thing, right? And so we get a little bit of time with them, and then they go to a prison where, for some reason, in an Egyptian prison, they have prisoners on hamster wheels, just running around. I thought that was interesting.
I'm assuming they're doing making some kind of energy from that or something.
I guess, or water. Maybe they're churning water with
something's being accomplished.
But then we get the kind of the structure of the plot that gets going, where she wants to find this city or whatever because of ancient antiquities, and they go there. There's a little bit of discovery, and then finally the mummy plot arrives. So the movie's kind of split into two parts, which is all the discovery stuff and then all the adventure stuff. And I mean, we do get some adventure with the big action scene at the beginning, and there's a little bit of adventure, I guess, with him almost being killed for whatever reason. But I think, like I said, pacing wise, it's kind of slow till it gets really fast.
Yeah,
and it ramps up really quickly. I think that we could have done without the opening narration. We have a character in Evie who is a professor or whatever. I'm not sure.
She's a librarian.
I'm not. Yeah. She's a librarian specializing in Egyptian antiquities.
Yeah.
I think we could have gotten most of all the information we needed from her as we went along.
Okay.
I think we could have gotten. I think the information was poorly doled out. I think
so.
It slows the movie down.
So you don't think we needed the scene with Imhotep touching the girl, and because I feel like that gave us a better understanding of what he's fighting for.
I guess. I mean, we get a lot of sympathy for Imhotep, really.
Yeah.
In this instance and everything. I mean, I guess it is kind of crucial because now that I'm thinking about it, we see the torture of all of his men and how he's tortured and everything too. But it's do we want he's supposed to be the villain? Do we want that much sympathy for him?
Well, I mean that's true, but I mean the Pharaoh was an asshole.
No, 100%.
And Imhotep, the only crime he committed was loving somebody he's not supposed to.
Right.
And then he gets thrown in the sarcophagus. And covered in scarabs that are supposed to eternally eat him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awful.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, he comes back and he's a monster, but at no point do I blame him, honestly.
No, and it's it sort of it's almost bittersweet that he gets defeated, honestly.
Yeah.
Although, weirdly, so Pharaoh curses him with this most horrible curse that you can curse somebody with, being eaten by scarabs for eternity or whatever, and all this shit and stuff. And it's oh, but there's a downside. If he ever gets resurrected for whatever reason, he becomes all powerful.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would there be a curse that has that double-edged sword to it?
Well, I mean, I guess they were pretty confident that he'd never be saved.
I guess. And then we have this army that is it's kind of you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Knights Templar from Indiana Jones.
Yes, exactly.
The third Indiana Jones, where they're there to guard the thing, and that's all they do. They devote their entire life to that. Mm-hmm. And there's a few different things that remind me of Indiana Jones in this.
Yeah, except that none of these people are archaeologists, and none of them have a valid reason for doing what they're doing.
Yeah, well, yeah, Rick O'Connell is supposed to be an adventurer, I guess, a treasure hunter.
Right. We see him doing the thing. We don't really know why he's out in the desert looking for this shit.
And that's part of the problem, too, is we don't get enough backstory about him.
Yeah. Then we see him in prison. And he like grabs Evie and kisses her through the bars of his cell,
Right.
which like kind of makes you think, okay, so this guy's like a scoundrel,
Right.
and like then we're supposed to think he's our hero for the rest of the movie. And at no point do we know what his motivations are.
No. Yeah, that's a big the character motivation's a big problem. Like, I don't know what he cares about or why he's even there. It's not like it's established like this guy is a treasure hunter and that's all he fucking cares about. So that when he falls in love with Evie and he chooses like love over treasure and shit like that, at no point does he have to make a choice between things. But we don't even get like that motivation. Then we get, like, and it's not like he is trying to preserve the Egyptian antiquities or anything. Like you said, we have no reason. We get a little bit of her motivation. Her parents were adventurers and they loved Egypt and stuff like that, so she wants to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah. And her brother's interested in the treasure.
Yeah, her brother's interested in the treasure and he's just like a drunk, basically. He's the comic relief.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know enough about him, and I think that's a big detriment to the movie too, because I never really get a full-fledged character from him.
Yeah. And then like at the end, him and Evie are supposed to be all like in love, but like there really wasn't enough interaction for that.
No, and it's like he kisses her through the bars, like you said, and it's like a really quick kiss, and she pulls away from it really fast. And then later she's like, oh my, it wasn't that good of a kiss. Like she's saying to herself in her room and everything. And it's like, was it? Like,
so she's obviously thinking about it.
You're really smitten over this kiss? Because it didn't look like that good of a kiss. It looked like a quick peck that you pulled away from instantly.
Yeah.
It mirrors the punch that he gives her brother because her brother stole the key thing from him. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't, I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel earned either, their romance.
No.
Brendan Fraser helps, like, carry this character a little bit. Because he's really good and charming and everything. But it's a really, really underwritten character.
And you can only do so much with an underwritten character. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting at some point, too, like... A lot of times he's using just his regular voice, but in certain instances he's putting on like almost like a John Wayne type voice, where he's like, and that's what I say, like kind of like he has this like little like lilt to his voice that doesn't, I don't know, like it fits the character, but like it's not consistent enough for me to really understand what he's doing with it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I think one of the bigger problems for me is the Rick O'Connell character. I like Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser's good in this movie. But the character as written is... I want more. It's not Indiana Jones.
No.
Like, we fully understand... From the first movie, we fully understand Indiana Jones's character.
It belongs in a museum.
Exactly. we understand exactly what he wants and what his personality is. Mm-hmm. The second movie fleshes that out a little bit more, and then the third movie we get a lot more character development. So by the third movie we understand the character. I don't feel like I know his character at all. I feel like I know Evie a lot more. The
only thing I know about his character is he is an adventurer of some sort, and he wants to fuck Evie.
Yeah.
That's it.
And her thin eyebrows. The thinnest eyebrows in the galaxy.
I think she's pretty. I don't have a problem with her eyebrows.
Rachel Weisz is pretty, but her eyebrows are really thin.
What else has she been in?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Because, like, she doesn't look familiar to me, but you usually know people.
No, I'll have to think about it, but I'm not sure if I've seen her in anything else. But, yeah, like... I will say this. It tells me that if they ever want to make any more Indiana Jones films, that they could use Brendan Fraser as a young Indiana. I mean, because Harrison Ford is like 57 or something like that. Like, he's approaching 60. They're not, like, he's not doing any more Indiana Jones films.
Of course.
Because that would be ridiculous. But, they could use him as a stand-in. He's
Hollywood.
Harrison Ford-like,
Take some notes. Brendan Fraser, next Indiana Jones. There you go.
But yeah, that's basically the only thing his character tells me. Other than that, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Every decision he makes is like, we got to protect Evie, and I got to kill the guy, and like that's it. And it's like, it's a very generic adventureman.
I mean, he definitely is invested in keeping Evie safe. It seems his primary motivation throughout the adventure, but
Yeah. The effects in this movie are
decent.
Yeah, they're good. Like, it's pretty amazing. We get several big sand faces, which is always fun, Like, you love a good big sand face.
sure.
As far as the other characters go, I mean, we get some generic Americans, which it's funny to me because Rick O'Connell refers to them at some point as the Americans, and then obviously Evie's British/Egyptian. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she was born in Egypt.
She said her mom was Egyptian.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. So she's British/Egyptian. So obviously she'd refer to them as the Americans and everything. But like,
That's why she reminds me of a Persian cat. She's got she's got some like Egyptian, Persian, whatever, like blood.
yeah. I'm sure that the Iranians, which is what used to be Persia and what is Persian now, would really love you comparing them to the Egyptians.
Sorry, guys.
It's like looking at a Palestinian and an Israeli and being like, I'm just saying I couldn't tell the difference between. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, what did you have a standout character in this that you thought like you really connected to?
Connected to?
Yeah, emotionally connected to. Because the movie is a fun popcorn, like, the problem is half of the movie isn't. The back half of the movie is a fun popcorn pulp, which, I mean, the Mummy movies from Universal were pulp shit,
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, not shit like they were bad, but like, they were pulp movies. So I understand making one in that vein, but like the back half of them, that's what it's like. The front half, though, is really not. And I feel like that's where the emotional core and connection needs to come from to give us stakes and to make us care about our characters in the back half adventure thing. So I'm wondering if there's a character that you emotionally connected to at some point in this movie.
I mean, if I had to choose one, it would be Evie because, like, she's probably more fleshed out, and I can relate to her because she's a girl and she's clumsy as fuck, and I'm clumsy as fuck. But do I really care that much? No.
And I think that's part of the problem. To me, the biggest emotional connection you get in the movie is Imhotep.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of a failure of the movie. I should care about our heroes more than our villain. And it's like, yeah, he's doing bad shit and stuff, but also, like, I don't really like the Americans that much.
Right.
They seem like assholes, and they're kind of portrayed that way in the movie. So when he goes around and starts killing them, it's like, I don't know, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and even, like, the one guy who dies, like, who was flying the plane or whatever.
Yeah, he wanted to die.
He looked very happy and peaceful.
Yeah, and he talked about how he wanted to die and everything. So, like, that was kind of weird, too. And then he sinks in quicksand, which is, like, it's not how really quicksand works, but whatever. But I'll tell you something we do care about, Carol. We're going to take a brief time out so you guys can listen to this, and then we'll be back with more stuff we care about. Hey, everybody. It's Mark and Carol here for a little time out, a little modern-day timeout for you, for our sponsor for this episode, Manscaped. Hey there, beach babes. You know what they didn't have 25 years ago, Carol? They didn't have the Lawnmower 5.0.
That is very true.
There were just people running around with Demi Moore style, huge bushes. It was in the 90s.
It was a free-for-all.
It was completely unkempt. The eyebrows were thin, but the undercarriage was thick. Are you ready to soak up those summer vibes and unveil your ultimate beach bod? Well, you're in luck because our friends over at Manscaped have you covered from head to toe in case you want to shave your toes. With the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, we have this. We have the Performance Package 5.0
we do.
Ultra. It's an ultimate all-in-one grooming kit that is set to have you looking and feeling your best in the summer sun. Trust Manscaped.
In the summer sun?
Yeah.
Are we going to a nude beach?
Maybe. I mean, they didn't have those 25 years ago either, unless you were in Europe. Trust Manscaped and unlock the confidence you need to turn heads this season. Join the 10 million men worldwide and women who trust Manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code LATEFEE20. That's LATEFEE20, everybody. That's our little code. Put that in there. Get your Manscaped products. Let's make this summer your smoothest one yet.
Sounds good.
Carol, we've used the Manscaped products.
Yes, we have.
I mean, spoiler alert, everybody. We were gifted products to use, which we did.
So that we could test them out and make sure
Would you say that
we feel good about them?
Exactly.
And yeah, we do.
I was going to say, would you say that has increased? It's not. We're not in the Matrix here. It's the.
What?
It's. We're not fight clubbing. The first rule of Manscaped is telling you about Manscaped.
Right. Well,
what other movie references can we make?
I don't know, babe. You're on your own there.
No, okay. Trying to think what else we're watching in 1999. You know what's a Phantom Menace is
Pubes?
that big
Pubes
bush
in your
that's
toothbrush is not a good thing.
Exactly. Oh, God. Yeah, seriously. So one of the things I love the most. So first of all, the groomer is very nice. It helps prevent any kind of nicks, cuts, like any sort of skin irritation issues. For longtime viewers, I have psoriasis, so that can be an issue. But they also have the Magic Mat, which is a disposable shaving mat. So there's no mess. You know how sometimes, especially I shave my beard or whatever, the little hairs.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Sorry.
So with I'm saying with the Magic Mat, it's cleanup's easy.
Okay, will you start using that when you do your beard too, please?
Yeah, you got it. Well, anyway, to get 20% off plus free shipping, use our code LATEFEE20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with code LATEFEE20 at manscaped.com. The summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped to keep your pubes at bay. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed whatever that was, because we're not sure. But if we ever do get sponsors, that's where the sponsor will be. So, Carol,
yes.
more Mummy.
More Mummy? Less Mummy?
If they make a movie, or if they make a sequel to this movie, they should call it Daddy.
Ew?
But there's Mummy, Daddy, get it?
No. That just sounds... So this movie is very creepy. I don't think we've touched on that enough.
Okay.
We mentioned the scarabs that are, eat him for eternity or whatever.
Yeah, I love how they target all the less important side characters, like the random slaves or whatever. I mean, they're not slaves, but the random local Egyptian people they get to help them. They're all the ones that die. They get melted with salt acid. They get eaten by scarabs. All the really bad shit happens to them.
Yeah. Scarabs literally crawl in under the skin of Evie's brother at one point. He gets one.
Yep.
That's gross.
Rick O'Connell saves him. Somehow he knows how to do that.
He uses his knife and cuts it out and flicks it, even though it's moving really fast.
And it's moving underneath his breastbone, but he also doesn't bleed or produce. There's no blood in this movie at all.
No. Well, no, there is at one point when the water turns to blood.
Yeah, that's it, though. But there's no one bleeds in this movie.
Yeah.
Things happen that would make somebody bleed, but we just cut away. I think they really wanted to preserve a PG-13. I think it was PG-13.
Yeah.
Rating. Yeah,
I think you're right. But yeah, I don't know. the whole thing was just really fucking scary. This guy, when he first comes out, looks like a meaty kind of skeleton.
He's a meaty skeleton.
And then he's got to, like, drain the life force out of people. I don't get it, though. Okay, the first dude, there were 4 guys that opened his sarcophagus.
Yeah, with the Book of the Dead.
Mm-hmm. And the first guy, he takes his eyes and his tongue, and then he gets saved by those night dudes. And then he comes back later to get the rest of them. Everybody else, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was walking around, talking, by the way, with no tongue, and his eyes being gone for, like, hours.
Yeah.
How? How'd that happen?
I don't know. It's really weird because, like, you think, like, I thought when it happened, because they find him and he's ripped his eyes out, even though he's bad eyes, he needed glasses, he couldn't see. And he ripped his tongue out, and so he can, now the mummy can speak and I guess see. I thought to myself, oh, he has to take parts out of everybody to reconstitute his body. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
That'll be like a weird, like, body horror type thing that they're adding to this movie. But instead, as you said, after just ripping out those 2 parts, he literally just, like, I don't know, sand whirls through them and sucks out all their life force to where they're just like mummified corpses.
Yeah, so he just leaves behind mummified corpses and slowly becomes real. Before he finishes becoming a real boy,
Yeah.
he turns to sand and falls through the keyhole into Evie's room, which kind of reminded me of the scene in Dracula where Dracula, like, turns into smoke and goes under the door to get to, what the fuck's her name?
Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mina? Yeah.
I don't remember her name in the
Mina.
movie, but yeah.
And in both instances, you know, it's like, oh, this is my, you know, long lost love, and I'm going to, like, you know, do shit to her.
Yeah.
This guy didn't even fully have a face,
No.
and he starts kissing her while she's asleep.
That's fucked.
She wakes up to half of a face kissing her. That's not okay.
No, you don't want to wake up to half of a face.
No, I mean, like, first, like...
Full face or nothing.
Right.
Full face sexual assault or nothing.
First, Brandon Fraser, well, I mean, she didn't seem to mind that much, grabs her and plants one on her. And now this guy is on her in her bed. Oh, not okay. Not okay.
No, not good.
Poor Evie.
Yeah.
She should be huddled in a corner somewhere crying, but instead she just goes off into the sunset.
She's tough.
With Brandon Fraser, happily.
Yeah, she's tough. On a camel.
Right?
But it is kind of, so the Mummy movies are supposed to be kind of scary, I guess, you know? Like I think they made 4 or 5 of them in the 40s to the 50s.
Okay.
They were part of that Universal monster thing with Frankenstein, Dracula, which we mentioned, the Mummy, I think the Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon and stuff. Those were all the Universal monsters, right? So those movies are supposed to be kind of scary.
Sure.
There is somewhat of a scary element here. It never gets fully scary, but, like, I don't know. In the second half, they do kind of ramp it up a little bit.
I don't know. I just think it's really creepy. They've got the plagues coming. Mostly, though, the kissing with half a face, that did it for me. That's scary.
I think... I mean, I'm pretty much done with my thoughts, I think, on the
You're
movie.
done with all your thoughts.
Well, on this movie, anyway. I will... This might be a reiteration, but I will say... I think the second half of the movie is really good. I liked the second half of the movie a lot. It was fun, entertaining. There were comedy parts to it. I think it was really good. The movie gets really dragged down by the first half of the film.
Yeah, it is pretty slow.
And I wish that there was a way that we could have sped a lot of that stuff up.
I mean, I'm sure there was, and they should have, because, I mean, the movie is more than 2 hours long. That is too long for this movie.
Yeah, I think a brisk 90 minutes, I think, would have made this better.
Yes.
Tighten
it up.
And I think you could cut half an hour out of this film and not lose much.
Yeah. I still think it was definitely worth seeing, and especially, like, seeing it in the theater, I think really enhances the experience.
Yeah, I do think it's worth seeing it in the theater, but temper your expectations would be my warning.
Yeah, it's not fantastic.
No.
It's only okay.
But Carol, that's our show for this
It
week.
is?
Why don't you tell people where they can get kissed by Half a Face?
Okay. You can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com. We will not kiss you with half a face or a full face, really.
No.
You can check out
No
our
kisses.
website at www.retrolatefee.com. Check out the Patreon at patreon.com/retro late fee.
You got it.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.